Hello everyone, this is another Russian Diafilm. I translated and voiced over with professional voices. I hope you will enjoy it. Subscribe.
A plus for behavior. Diafilm about the education of children during the German occupation in the Great Patriotic War. This story took place during the war years, and there were two heroes in it. Pioneer Volodya Karpov and a camel with brown matted wool, whose name remained unknown. For the first time, Volodya Karpov met a camel near the village of Zabolody, near a birch grove. The appearance of a two-humped giant on a military road soaked with autumn rains was at least strange,
Isn't this a mirage?
thought the boy,
Where is the camel from in Belarus?
at the risk of being hit with a heavy leg. Volodya plucked a bunch of grass and walked up to the desert dweller. But the camel arrogantly turned away from the treat and strode off. After returning to the city, the boy did not tell anyone about the meeting with the camel, as he knew in advance that they would not believe him. They would make fun of him. But he did not forget about the camel. The ship of the desert remained in his memory, huge, lipped, all felt, like a felted boot. The camel constantly warmed up the boy's fantasy and pushed him to different out-of-the-ordinary plans. For example, when the Nazis decided to open a new school, and the former methodologist teacher Taran was appointed as a director, Volodya wanted to put a new director on this camel and, of course, backwards,
Kids, forget the old school.
spoke to the forcibly driven guy's Taran.
The German command graciously allowed the opening of a new one. The Germans intend to plant culture. Now there will be no relief, order, diligence, cleanliness.
Then Volodya Karpov got up and asked.
Will you give us a soap
Taran blushed,
Soap? Why? A soap?
for cleanliness?
answered Volodya. The kids giggled.
Be silent. No questions. Reduce the score on behavior.
The last words referred to the class mentor, the mathematics teacher, Akim Andreevich, and that's when the camel stirred in Volodya's memory. Where is he now? Is he trampling in the puddles near Zabolody, or has he gone and the rains have washed away his traces? Or maybe it wasn't there at all? Mirage. Volodya set off on his journey. Not far from Zabolody, he saw a camel surrounded by cows. Next to the two-story giant, the cows seemed very small. The boy went up to him and held out a piece of thickly salted bread. The camel carefully scooped up the treat with his lip and began to chew slowly, as if stretching out the pleasure. When Volodya walked away, the camel followed him, and then Volodya came up with a desperately daring plan. A cold wind blew. Clouds floated over the city. Black, as if burnt, leaves rustled underfoot. The puddles were bound by fragile ice. On that day a camel entered the city. The proud ship of the desert moved under a red sail. And on the red sail was written, "Death to Fascists." In the occupied city these words sounded like gunshots. Passers-by with hidden joy looked at the camel walking fearlessly with a poster. It seemed that it was their cherished words that broke out of the underground and sounded throughout the city. The camel walked slowly along the pavement. When he walked past the school, it seemed to Volodya that the animal, with heavy legs, strikes the traitor Taran with his order, zeal, and purity. When they saw a camel with a poster, the kids stopped their classes and stuck around the windows. Everyone was interested to look at the poster, "Death to Fascists." Suddenly, the streets became lively, as in good times of peace. People came out of their houses to read with their own eyes the words they had to hide so deeply. The occupant police collaborators followed the camel, not knowing how to stop the camel, how to tear off the impudent poster from it. It didn't cost them anything to shoot the animal, but after all, there was a sign hanging around its neck with the inscription, "Zamini Rovano." It means mines or explosives in English. And although a gross mistake was made in the word, this did not weaken its threatening meaning. The whole city was watching the two-humped giant, and no one noticed Volodya, who kept aloof. But it was he who was the invisible captain of the formidable ship of the desert. The camel never took his eyes off the boy. And when Volodya turned onto another street, the camel followed him. Once Volodya ran into a familiar person. It turned out to be Akim Andreevich. The teacher looked at the boy, then at the camel, shrugged his shoulders in a strange way and disappeared. In the afternoon, the camel, having gone around the whole town, disappeared. He turned down one lane, into another, and disappeared. Volodya took his friend to the park, and then took him to the fields. In short, the called German sappers did not find the mined camel, but in the city for a long time they remembered the mysterious camel that walked through the streets with a proud slogan, "Death to Fascists." In the new school, too, there were long conversations about the mysterious camel, and each storyteller added something of his own. And gradually an amazing legend was created about a camel that goes from city to city with a red banner, and fascist bullets bounce off it like pee. At the end of the quarter, Akim Andreevich gave the guys marks for behavior. The guys took the mark books and left. When it was Volodya Karpov's turn, the teacher said,
"Wait, I have a special conversation for you."
Volodya did not expect anything good from a special conversation. Finally, the classroom was emptied.
"Come to the blackboard.
The teacher said,
Get the chalk. Write a word. Samini Rovano."
The boy looked at the teacher in surprise and began to slowly draw the letters.
"Wrong,"
Said the teacher. He carefully looked into the boy's eyes, then took the chalk, crossed out the letter, and wrote.
"Remember, in this word, after R, you should write O."
Then the teacher took Volodin's mark book and wrote something in it. Volodya Karpov went out into the street. Fluffs of the first snow swirled in the air. The boy walked a block. He stopped and wistfully opened his mark book. He got a big fat A+ for the behavior. The end. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the channel and see you soon.